How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's had a great day. So I just wanted to come on and share one of my stories with you guys. Of course, through life, we all have some of the most amazing stories, and one of mine is a I didn't know I was pregnant story. Um, so my daughter is 7 years old. She'll be 8 this year. Um, but her entrance in this world was very dramatic. Only in the fashion that we do, of course. But in 2010, um, I was a full-time student at Bowie State University. I was technically a part-time worker as a lifeguard at Rolling Crest Splash Park. And I was also a student athletic trainer at Bowie State as well. So I was involved in a lot of activities, doing a lot of things on campus. And going throughout my younger days, I didn't really wear a lot of clothes in the house. So in October of course, 2010, on a Thursday, I started having like these cramp like pains. And of course, because I grew up with irregular periods, it was something normal for me to have a period 1 month, 3 months none, and then 2 months in a row one. So they were extremely irregular, and there's no way to track them. So I started having cramp-like pains on a Thursday, and I paid it no mind. I just thought, hey, my cycle's coming, and I'll be okay. I went about school and went home, went to sleep, woke up the next day on a Friday. I had class at Bowie, and all throughout the class, I swear about every 10 to 12 minutes, I felt like I was having like these really bad pains. But of course, I paid them no mind because that was something I was used to with having heavy periods. So that evening, I went to work at Rolling Crest as a lifeguard, and one of my coworkers at that time was saying, girl, the way you acting, you look like you're in labor, like just the way that you're walking. And I'm like, I do not look pregnant to nobody. And so I was in and out of the hot tub because, of course, that hot water felt amazing. And just in the pool when I got too hot, back in the hot tub to release the pain. So that was kind of how I went that whole evening. That Friday night, I went to sleep, or tried to at least. And at around 3 a.m., the pains got really intense to the point where I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't get a comfortable position. So that morning I woke up, and in my household on Saturdays growing up, it was cleaning day for everyone. And my mom had assigned me the upstairs bathroom to clean, and including my room. And for whatever reason, I couldn't stand up, couldn't sit down, I couldn't lay down, couldn't find the most comfortable position at all. It was just pain everywhere. And my mom asked me, do you feel constipated? Do you feel like, you need to use the bathroom? And I said, well, I haven't used the bathroom in 2 days, so maybe that is it. And so my mom had got me some magnesium citrate. It's in a clear glass bottle, and it helps you use the bathroom if you're constipated. And so the first bottle I drank the whole bottle, and I threw it up instantly. And my mom had bought 2, so the second bottle I drank half of it, and I was like, okay. I kept that down, and I was like, let me just try to clean. It got to the point where I was on my knees, and I was crying and telling my mom I felt like I was going to die. And so she called our doctor, and of course, because it was a Saturday, no one answered, and we were waiting for a call back, but I couldn't wait. I said I was in way too much pain, and I had to go to the hospital. I was going to die. Driving to the hospital was an experience because all throughout the time, my mom was touching my stomach, just everywhere. She couldn't understand how I was in so much pain, but I didn't look pregnant. I hadn't felt pregnant or did anything to indicate being pregnant, but she was just trying to assess the situation. We get to the hospital, and they're asking me 1,012,000 questions that I feel like are the stupidest questions in that moment because I'm dying. Like on the inside, it feels like somebody's ripping my insides apart. And so they do their initial testing. My blood pressure was through the roof, which typically happens when I cry. And they were just, doing all the natural things, taking my vitals and things like that. And they asked me, is there a chance you could be pregnant? Now, my statement the whole evening was like, do I look pregnant? And of course, at that time, I was a lot smaller, so it was really difficult to believe that I was pregnant. And so I get in an emergency room, not an exam room, but an actual room. And they said, well, your urine has come back positive for pregnancy. Earlier that year, I had an ovarian cyst rupture, and so I went to the same hospital, and they took my urine and said it was positive, but when they took my blood, it came back negative. So we've had that experience before. So the nurse came and said that my urine was positive. We said, we'll just wait on the blood. And so at that time, they were going to do a CAT scan, and they wanted to see if I was having any type of ruptures or if I was having appendicitis. They just wanted to kind of rule out some things. They give you this fluid that's extremely nasty to drink when you're doing a CAT scan. And so I began to drink the fluid, and one of the nurses run in and says, stop, she's pregnant. The blood came back positive. We have to figure this out. And so at that time, I'm like apparently in full-blown labor, and the pain stops for like 6 seconds for me to look at my mom and my mom to look at me, and we almost laugh because it's like, that's crazy, there's no way. And so during the time when I first got admitted, I had 2 shots of painkillers, and it knocked the pain out for about 6 to 10 seconds, and I felt lovely, and then the pain would kick right back in. And so they knew something was wrong because I was screaming in pain after getting some of their strongest pain medications. And so a lot of that experience comes back in flashes because it was so unreal, and it was actually traumatic in a way. I really didn't get to experience it. I kind of watched myself in that moment because I remember an ultrasound machine next to me, and they're trying to figure out how many weeks I was, and there was random numbers, 28, 36, 24, 40. It was so many different numbers being thrown out. And then I remember as they were saying they were going to transfer me to another room, I felt a gush of water. I felt like I peed on myself all at one time. And I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, I peed. And my mom's just like in a whole nother world because she can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. And the next thing I remember is that I'm in a delivery room, and they're telling me to push, and I'm like, I don't know how. What are you talking about? How do I push? Like, what is that? And they were saying, act like you're pooping. Just bear down. And I said, but I'm going to poop. And I didn't want to poop. But I remember catching a cramp in my leg, and my mom was passed out on the floor, and it just felt like I was watching a movie. And I had to get cut because my daughter's head was large. And so I remember that pain amongst the pain that I was feeling. And then all of a sudden it stopped. All of the pain stopped, and she was born. And they took her away right away. I remember my mom on the floor again, and by that time she had called my dad, who was a pastor, and my brother. And my brother was having an asthma attack. And my dad said no words at all. And so it was a very interesting experience to literally wake up and become a mom. I didn't have a bottle, a diaper, a onesie. I didn't have anything. And so that Sunday, I was really blessed that my family was financially able to help me and get all of the things that I needed. So they went out and got, crib, car seat, bottles, everything that I would need immediately to care for her. And the craziest thing that came back was that I didn't have a name. So we're a day and a half. My baby girl did not have a name. And so my mom and I kind of researched different names, and we came up with a name that has a very strong meaning in my family. And so it was quite an experience and a shock. My job did not believe me whatsoever. I literally had to bring hospital bands and proof to my job because they're like, first of all, you're a lifeguard, you're in a bathing suit all day. We just saw you yesterday. There's no way you just had a baby. My school, I had to send proof because I'm like, hey, I can't come in. And so it was really experience. That's all I can call it. It's an experience. But I had amazing support through it all. She has 3 amazing godmothers and family and friends around her that love her so much. And she came at the most unopportune time, but God's timing is perfect. So she's an amazing little girl. She had no issues in birth. She had no complications. All she had was jaundice, and they told me just keep her in the sun. But she was a 7-pound, 6-ounce, 22 inches long, and gorgeous. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know there are so many different stories that people have about not knowing they're pregnant or going through a certain amount of time not knowing they're pregnant. So please share those stories down below, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And see you guys soon.
Hey guys! Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Follow us on all our social media. The links are down below in the description box.